You're training, you're eating healthy, or what you think is healthy, and the scales are either not moving or they go up a couple of kilos, come back down one, and just sit there. And you're genuinely confused because from the outside, you're doing everything right. And here is what I hear all the time. Women who come to me who've done Michelle Bridges, they've done 8-week challenges, they've done keto, fasting, Weight Watchers, everything that you can think of, and who've been doing strength training 3 or 4 times a week. And on paper, everything looks good, but nothing is shifting. And the reason isn't that they're not trying hard enough. The reason is that nobody's actually taught them how their body works. So they're guessing. They're doing what they think is right based on what they've seen on social media, which, no offense, it's full of absolute waffle. Like, there is so much noise out there, and I actually don't love the fitness industry because of it. So many women say they're confused by how much information's out there. And there are so many people misleading women about what they actually need to do, and you don't need to do half of this stuff. I'm so passionate about helping women and giving them the proper education so they realize it's actually easier than you think once you understand this. Because I used to be you, scared to eat carbs, think certain foods would make me gain weight, going out to eat and having a mental battle in my head while reading the menu, wishing I could eat certain meals, but scared of what the scales would say the next day, so I'd choose the salad just to be safe. It's that mental fatigue of always trying to lose weight that's exhausting. I lived like that for years. Constant negotiation, constant guilt, constant starting again on Monday. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how Shape works, what we do, how we do it, and more importantly, why it actually creates permanent change instead of just results that disappear the moment you stop. We're going to cover the nutrition and how we build it around your life and your real family. The education piece, because this is a big one, and it's what most programs skip entirely. The behavior and the mindset work, because for most of the women I work with, the problem isn't what they're eating, it's why they're eating. The training and how we structure it properly, the support and the check-ins, and the part that nobody ever talks about, what we do at the end to make sure the weight stays off forever. I've coached hundreds of women through this, women who have been through perimenopause, early menopause, the hormonal roller coaster, women who have lost the same 10 kilos and gained it back 3 times over, women who are training 5 times a week and still not making any progress. And the thing that changes everything for them is never more discipline. It's finally understanding what actually works for you. To start with, let me show you what's actually going on with your nutrition and why what you're eating right now probably isn't the problem. So here's what I see every single week. A woman sends me her average day of eating, and on paper, it looks pretty good. She's having oats for breakfast, a wrap for lunch, a normal family dinner. She's not eating fast food, she's not drinking every night, and she cannot understand why the scales aren't budging. And the reason, almost every time, is that she's under eating through the day and then overcorrecting in the afternoons without realizing it. She'll have a breakfast, have a small lunch, and then by 3 o'clock, she's absolutely starving and she eats whatever she can get her hands on. The kids' shapes, a yogurt pouch, a couple of lollies, and then she has a full family dinner on top of that. And she has no idea what her total calories actually are for the day because she's never tracked it properly. And the other thing I'll find, and this is a big one, is the accuracy of what she thinks she's eating versus what she's actually eating. Like most women, when they say, I'm having half a cup of oats, they mean in a cup, not weighing out on the scales. And half a cup of oats sitting loose in a cup is completely different to half a cup of oats actually measured out. Same with cheese, same with oil when you're cooking, same with sauces. And it's not just to be pedantic about this, but this stuff actually matters because these small things add up to hundreds of calories that you don't even know you're eating. And then you wonder why you're not losing any weight. So the first thing we do inside Shape is get you tracking accurately. We use MyFitnessPal. I know a lot of people have a love-hate relationship with it, but remember this isn't forever. It's a tool and we link it directly to our coaching app so we can see everything you're eating every single day. But here's the thing. I know tracking sounds annoying, and to start with, yes, it does take a bit more effort, but we teach you how to make it really efficient, how to save meals, save recipes, set up your common foods because most people eat the same thing on rotation anyway. So once your regular meals are in there, it actually takes me less than a minute now to enter a whole day of eating. And once you start tracking, 2 things happen. 1, you start to understand what you're actually eating for the first time. For a lot of women, that's genuinely an eye-opener. They're usually thinking, oh, this is why I haven't made progress. This makes sense now. now. And 2, you stop guessing, because guessing is what's keeping you stuck. But here's what makes Shape different. It's not just tracking for tracking's sake, it's the education that comes with it. Because when we look at your food, we're not just looking at your calories, we're looking at your protein, your fiber, what you're getting from where, and what small changes are going to make the biggest difference for you. So when we look at your food, we might say something like, hey, I noticed breakfast looks good, but could we maybe swap from the banana to some berries in your oats? It's lower in calories, higher in fiber, so you'll save some calories later in the day, but also hit those fiber targets. Or I notice you're having a wrap for lunch. That's fine, but could you maybe swap this brand of wrap for this brand of wrap? It's higher in protein, higher in fiber, so this way you will also hit your targets a little better. Or we might even notice you're having about 100 grams of chicken in your toasty, but we could make it 140 and maybe put that little bit of extra chicken on the side. Now you've doubled your protein without changing your meal. Or your yogurt in the afternoon, maybe we could add a scoop of protein powder to it. You've still got your yogurt for the day, but now we've got your protein numbers right up for the day. These aren't huge drastic changes, and we're not trying to overhaul your entire diet or make you cook separate meals from your family. We are making the smallest tweaks to the foods you're already eating, and those tweaks are the difference between staying stuck and actually making progress. And the family dinners stay the same, because nobody wants to cook 2 dinners. My family eats the same dinner I eat, but what I do is I budget a little bit more calories for dinner, so then I can enjoy dinner without restriction. And then I make the rest of my day work around that. So maybe breakfast and lunch are a little bit lighter, because that's when it's just me and I control it easily. And then dinners stay the same, and I'm not there sitting eating a different version of it, or again, we just tweak the volumes in it to help you hit your targets better. If you're making something like sweet potato, we might say, hey, could you swap half of it for pumpkin? Quarter of the calories taste similar and it's not a big change. Or if you're doing a Mexican night, throw in some beans. That's extra protein and extra fiber in one. It's those things that make it easy for you to stick with. And along all of this, you'll get access to our full education library inside the app. It covers how to track foods, how to eat at restaurants without derailing, how to budget your calories for a social event or a girls' weekend away, how to navigate holidays. I've done cheat sheets on takeaway foods, like if you're getting Thai or burgers, here's what to look for and what to avoid. There's sessions on menopause, cortisol, and stress, on what's happening hormonally and why it matters for fat loss. Because the thing is, once you understand this stuff, you don't have to rely on another plan anymore. You just know it. You can look at a menu and go, okay, I know what that means for my week. I can look at a week where I've got a birthday dinner, a barbecue on the weekend, and go, okay, I know how to navigate that. You stop being scared of food because you understand it. And that's genuinely the goal. It's not I'm on a diet, it's just this is how I eat now. And I still eat everything. I'm not restricted, I just understand it. But here's the thing, even once we've got the nutrition dialed in, for a lot of women I work with, the food isn't actually the deepest problem. The deepest problem is what's happening up in your head, and that's what we work on next. Let me ask you something. When your week turns to an absolute crap show, your worst nightmare, you haven't slept, the kids are feral, everything feels too much, what do you automatically reach for? For most of the women I work with, it's food, because over years and years, food has become the coping mechanism. It's comfort. It's the thing that you get at the end of a hard day. It's filling the void when you're sitting on the couch and feeling flat, and nobody helps you untangle that. And what happens is they're doing brilliantly. They're making progress, they're on track, and then one chaotic week happens, life doesn't cooperate, and they eat the whole packet of biscuits on a Wednesday night, feel terrible about it. Thursday morning, they decide they've ruined it. And by Friday, they've mentally already moved on to, I'll start again Monday. That on-off switch just keeps flipping. And it's not a willpower problem, it's a behavior pattern that nobody ever addresses. And this is a really big part of what we do inside Shape, because I've seen women completely nail nutrition for 3 weeks and then fall apart in week 4 because a stressful period hit and they had no tools for it. And if we don't address the behavior stuff, the results don't stick. So inside the program, we look at your patterns. What does a hard week look like for you? What are the triggers? Is it tiredness? Is it boredom? Is it stress? Is it feeling like you've earned a treat after a long day? Once we can name it, we can then start to work with it, because you can't hide your way past a bad habit forever. Eventually, willpower will run out. What we want instead is for the habit to change. I do a group coaching call and I do a lot of live education sessions inside our program. We cover mindset, education about nutrition, training, and we cover behavior change, because we want this to be a forever change and not just another diet. Because here's what I want for you. I want these behaviors to run on autopilot so that when life is chaotic, and it will be, because life is always throwing something at us, you're not in a battle with yourself. You're not negotiating. You just naturally gravitate to the right things because this is just what you do. It's just how you eat. It's just who you are now. And it doesn't require effort anymore because it's not a diet. It's just normal. And no matter how stressful your week is, no matter what's happening, you're not turning to food as a coping mechanism because we've done the work on understanding why you were doing that and giving you something else. That's the goal. That's what creates the forever change.
I'm Julie. I'm 52 years of age. I have tried many programs, spent so much money, and nothing compares to Shape. Katie and Carly are just the best. Within a week, I had more energy. I had more motivation to get out, go for my walks, go to the gym. I've lost 2.5 kilos in the last 9 weeks, which obviously to some isn't much, but my photos are amazing and I can definitely see the difference. Everything that Katie and Carly have given me has just pushed me, and I am enjoying this journey so much.
And that's exactly the kind of shift I see happen inside the program, which brings me to the training side of things because this part is really important. Most of the women who come to our program are already training. They're going to the gym, they're doing classes, they might be running, they've maybe got a weights program they've been following, and they've kind of stopped seeing results from it because they've been doing the same thing for so long. One of the things I see a lot of women follow is just random workouts. Yes, you are moving, which is fantastic, but you want to start building muscle as you're aging. So we get stronger bones and keep your metabolism up, which then helps fat loss and creates that toned look you're after. And the other really important piece here, and I feel strongly about this, is the relationship between your nutrition and your training. Because if you're not eating enough protein and you're not fueling your training properly and protecting the muscle mass you need to change your body composition, you train 5 days a week, and if the nutrition isn't supporting it, you're not going to see the body composition changes you're looking for. These two things have to work together. And this matters even more as you get older. Every year you're losing bone density and muscle mass. And the best thing you can do to fight that is strength training with the right nutrition behind it. Women in their 40s and 50s who strength train properly are literally in the best shape of their lives because they're building and keeping muscle that most women their age are losing. I see it in my gym all the time. So in Shape, we build you a custom training program from scratch based on your schedule, what equipment you have access to, any injuries or limitations, and what you actually enjoy. I'm not going to put you on a program you hate. You want to enjoy exercising because you're more likely to do it and you're more likely to keep going. The training programs run in a 4-week progressive block. So for the first 4 weeks, every session of that type is the same, which means by week 2, you already know what you're doing. You don't have to relearn every time. You're just getting better at it. And the goal with strength training is progressive overload. You got 12 reps out at 10 kilos. Great. Next session, you can get to 15, or could you go to 12 kilos? You're always looking to improve. That's how muscle gets built. Every exercise has a video demonstration in the app so you know exactly what it looks like before you do it. And if you're ever unsure about your form, you just film it, send it through, and we'll give you feedback. And if you're traveling on holidays and you've got a hotel gym or a couple of resistance bands, we sort it out. The ladies will literally film the hotel gym and send it through, and we'll build them a session around what's there. Or if they're packing bands, we'll do band workouts and body weight because we don't want your progress to stop just because your routine is disrupted. However, if you don't want to exercise while you're away, you don't have to either. Okay, so now you've got the picture of what the nutrition and the training looks like, but what actually makes this work long term, what actually keeps you on track through the hard weeks is the support structure around it. Let me walk you through how that runs. Here's what happens with every other program you've done. You get a plan. While you're on it and life is calm, it works. And the moment life isn't calm, a stressful week, a social event you don't know how to navigate, a holiday, a work trip, the plan doesn't flex. There's nobody to ask and you quietly go off track. You feel bad about it and eventually you just stop. The number one thing the women in our program tell us they love more than anything else is the accountability. Your coach notices if you've gone quiet. Someone's there when you don't know what to do. And for so many of these women, that's never existed before in any program they've done. So here's how it actually runs inside Shape. Every Sunday, we send you a weekly check-in form. It covers everything. How's your appetite? How's your sleep? How's your stress? How's your bowels? How's your energy? How's your recovery? What did you struggle with this week? What's coming up next week that we might need to navigate for? And then we go through all of your food data, all of your training, all of your stats, your scale weight, your measurements, your photos, and then we give you specific feedback. It might even just be something like, hey, I notice you're lacking a little bit of protein at dinner. Could we add a little bit of extra here? Or could we add a little bit in your snack? Your training was great this week, but hey, I seen that your steps started to lack off with the new job. Let's think about how we build movement into your day instead. And we flex the plan every single week. Life throws something at you and we just adjust it. You've got a girls' weekend coming up and you want to have a few drinks. Okay, great. Let's pull back 50 to 100 calories a day during the week so you've got extra to spend on the weekend and your weekly average still lands where it needs to be. You're traveling for work, eating out every day. Okay, here's how to navigate restaurant menus. Here's what to order. Here's how to keep roughly on track without stressing about it. Your week went sideways and you didn't get to the gym. Okay, what's the bare minimum we can do? Because sometimes body weight at home or just doing 2 exercises is enough. It's about creating the habits that we want to keep forever. Holidays, and this is one of my favorite things, we take you to maintenance calories, which means you actually increase your calories so you can eat more, enjoy yourself, not feel restricted, and come home the same weight you left. Not 5 kilos heavier and then you're back to square one. You enjoy your holiday and you come home and you just keep going. You also get 24/7 message support. The women might even message every day if they need it. It depends on where you're at and what season of life you're in. Different weeks need different amount of support. And if you're ever like, I just need a little bit more right now, that's fine. We will check in on you more. And if you're cruising and you don't need us as much, but we need to be able to tackle these things as they're happening, not just after the damage is done. We also do touch points at the end of the week to get organized to make sure you've set up for the weekend. Because the weekend is where a lot of women come unstuck. Not because you're bad at this, but because the structure of the week isn't there and the habits haven't been tested yet in that environment. And then spread throughout the 26 weeks, you get one-on-one Zoom calls with us. Not just check-in messages, but actual calls where we sit down with you, we go over everything together, map out the next phase, and talk through anything you're stuck on. Now, all of this, the nutrition, the behavior work, the training, the support, this is what helps you lose the weight. But here's the part most programs completely skip over, and it's the exact reason the weight always comes back. Let me show you what we do differently at the end.
Hi, I'm Luann, working with Shape Online now for about 7 months. Amazing support the whole time from Kristen and from Katie. I'm really just so grateful that I took the plunge. I know I procrastinated a little bit, but I am down about 20 kilos. I've just found it easy to do. You can tweak things to suit what I'm doing has just been amazing. So I'm just feeling so strong, and I just didn't think that I could get to this point. Take the guidance and all of the hints and tips you get along the way. It really does work. It's something you can take with you for the rest of your life. If you're thinking about it, if you're sitting on the fence, just do it. It's so worth it.
And this is exactly what I want for every single woman in our program, which brings me to the final piece, because this is the bit that makes it permanent, the reverse diet. So this is the thing that nobody talks about, and it's genuinely so freeing for me when I learn it, because it explains so much of my own history. Here's what happens. You do a program, you lose weight, you hit your goal, the program ends. You go back to normal eating, maybe a little bit better than before, but the structure's gone. And within a few months, the weight's creeping back on, and you think you've done something wrong, or that you've just got bad genetics, or that this is just how your body is, and you have to start again. But the reason the weight comes back on has nothing to do with any of that. It's because when you're in a calorie deficit, your body adapts to that lower amount of food. It becomes your new normal. And when the program ends and you start eating what feels like normal amount, even a healthy, reasonable amount, the body is actually over what it's been running on, and it starts gaining. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because nobody taught you how to come out of a deficit safely. When I first learned this, it was after my girls and I'd lost about 13 to 14 kilos, and the deficit ended at about 1,500 calories. Then I reverse dieted out and I ended up getting my calories up to 2,600 calories per day while maintaining my goal weight. I was absolutely shocked. I was that person that could now eat all the food and not gain the weight. It was absolutely life-changing for me. And this is why I've been helping women do the same thing for the past decade, so they can finally be free of the diet cycle. Shape runs for 26 weeks because we need enough time to do both things properly. We need to lose the weight, and then we need to reverse diet you out safely. So once you hit your goal, we don't just stop. We start building your calories back up. Slowly, week by week. Every week we look at your data, your weight, your food, how your body responded, and we check it and go, okay, weight's tracking nicely. Let's increase your calories by this much. The following week we look again. Great, let's do it again. If things start to look a little bit off, we hold for a week and let your body settle. And then we get to go again. The goal is to get your calories back up to a proper maintenance level where you're eating real sustainable amount of foods and your weight is just sitting there, stable. Not because you're restricting, because now that's what maintenance looks like for you. I had one client whose deficit ended at 1450 calories per day. By the time we finished her reverse diet, she was eating 2500 calories and her weight was stable. Over 1000 calories more than when she was in a deficit. That's what a proper reverse diet does. And she's not in the program anymore. She's been out for the past 3 years and she's maintained it. She was 105 kilos and now we maintain her weight at 67 because she understands how it works. She knows how to eat. She knows what to do when a holiday comes around. She knows what to do when she comes home and the scales are up a little bit. It's just water retention. I know that. She knows that. She just keeps going and it evens out. She's not scared of it anymore. Shape is for the women who are done starting over. Women who have done the programs, done the challenges, done the diets, and they're ready for something that actually sticks. If you're training and nothing is moving, this is for you. If you've lost the weight before and it's come back, this is for you. If you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s and your body feels like it's changed and you don't understand it anymore, this is absolutely for you. And if you're someone who's sitting there going, I don't want to plan, I have to follow forever. I want to actually understand this. I want to eat the foods I enjoy and not feel like I'm on a diet. That is exactly what this program is built for. Now, if any of this sounds like you, there is a link in the description below to apply for coaching. It's not a purchase link, it's an application. We get on a call, we go over through where you're at, what you've tried, what you're working towards, and we figure out together whether Shape is the right fit for you. I only take on women I genuinely believe I can help. So if that's you, the link is below, go fill it in. And if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. There's a lot more on this channel going in the specifics of how all of this works, how to track properly, how to hit your protein targets, why fiber matters, and what it actually means. I just want you to know there is a better way than always starting on a Monday.